two people that sent in some questions for you specifically on how-tos. So this one is how to, well, that's what the video is called.
Yeah.
Question, I would like a how-to from Dr. Nikki's mum on her tips to a long and healthy marriage. How many years have you been married?
Nearly 39.
There you go. So what are your tips/secrets to a healthy and long marriage?
I think you've got to have respect for each other
I like that.
and consideration.
I like that.
They're my two big things in a relationship, to respect each other and to have consideration for each other and be honest with each other.
But, okay, so that advice, whilst very great, I feel like is very surface level and it's spoken about a lot. Think about some of the things over the last nearly 40 years with Dad. Things specifically. Like, I remember you used to say to me that date night was always important. And I remember as kids, you and Dad used to do like courses together and things like that.
When we were busy with young kids and didn't have much time, when we didn't have much time, alone time. No, I'm trying to get it out. When we didn't have much alone time, when we were busy with young children, I felt it was important that one night a week we got out, had a babysitter and did something together, like learned something. We went and did cooking classes.
Tai Chi, I remember.
Tai Chi, I dragged him to Tai Chi, I dragged him to ballroom dancing.
Ballroom dancing? Yeah, I didn't know that.
That didn't last long.
It's
Just to have an interest outside the family and outside the children together, I thought was important.
What about conflict? Because I think this has been a subject a lot.
Never go to
COVID.
bed angry.
Okay.
I hate that. I hate going to bed angry. I think you need to be able to discuss things, get it off your chest and work through things.
Okay. What about one more scenario? I find that a lot of people have these different expectations when they're in marriages, or different ideals. You know, someone wants things to be one way, the other person wants things to be the other way.
It's compromising.
But
it's
how do you compromise?
It's discussing and compromising. Well, you've got to talk about it. You've got to talk about it openly and honestly and come to a compromise. Once you give in or once he gives in, or it works itself out.
Okay. One more to do with this how-to. I know
Okay.
it's kind of diverging, but I'm interested in this.
Okay.
So I'm living in the era where there is a lot more divorce than, say, in your era.
Absolutely.
And the argument is that this generation of people who are getting married and divorced are giving up too easily because it's easier to get divorced.
I agree with that.
Whilst I also think that it's great that we have this thing called divorce, so we have a right to be able to go out and be happy if we're not. I do get on some level there are a lot of people that are not sticking it out enough. Being married for nearly 40 years, you would have had to have gone through periods where things were tough.
Always.
What advice do you have for people on how you ride through those tough periods?
Well, firstly, I think marriage is too easy. Getting married is too easy. Getting
so you think
divorced.
there should be like a test?
No, but marriages, people I think get married too quickly and too easily. I think
There's
divorce...
a fantasy about it too.
Yes, but divorce is too easy. And I don't think... that I'm being general here, I'm not being specific. I think young people don't work at it. They don't know how to work at it. They see their parents, like us, that have been married for 39, nearly 40 years and think it's a bed of roses and it should be a bed of roses. And they think they should be financially and whatever where we are now after 39 years of marriage. They don't know how to work at it. They have the wrong sort of expectations. I don't know if I'm answering your question.
It's sounding good.
But you have to work at a marriage. It's not a bed of roses. It's not always great. It's not always easy. You have to want to work at it. You have to want to make it work. I mean, you've got to love the person, of course. But yeah, you have to work at it. It's just...
But during those periods, right, if you're having a tough period...
There are always tough periods, and I don't...
But how do you know when is the right point to keep going and when you call it quits? That's a bit of a hard one because you've never called it quits.
No, I haven't called it quits. But you've got to want to work. You've got to want to make it work. Then you've got to want to work at it. I don't think you should go into a marriage thinking, oh, this is going to be a bed of roses and we're going to be happily ever after. Sure, but to be happily ever after, you have to do things.
You've got to work to be happily ever
Yeah,
after.
you've got to work through it.
It doesn't just come like a fairy tale.
No.
Bloody Cinderella.
And it is, and I always say, and I've said to you often, it's the hard times that bring you closer together. And you know, your father and I have gone through really tough times, whatever it may be, but it is that's what brings you together. And if you can't get through the hard times together, something is wrong.
That's nice. That's what I think about COVID. For those people that it hasn't worked out during COVID's kind of done you a favour because it's shown you that you can't get through the tough times. So maybe it wasn't the best relationship to be in. Okay, well, that was a longer how-to, but we got a lot of marriage advice in there, so I'm happy about that.
Thank you.
Thanks.